Welcome, friends. Welcome to another episode of The Weekly Pizza. Still working on our name for that. Please help me out in the comments section below. And we're going to do another dessert pizza. This time we're going to do one with our homemade gianduja. Gianduja. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly. Correct me. And this is our homemade long fermented pizza dough. And it's pretty warm in the studio today, and this has been sitting out a little bit too long, so it's gotten a little bit sticky, but I think we'll be okay. So I put it down on the board on top of some flour, flip it over once so that I get flour on both sides, flip it over again to make sure that the bottom side always stays on the bottom right into the pizza oven. And then we just start shaping it. And I go around the outside with my fingers like this. And so I'm just going around the edge with my fingers just to make a little bit of a border between the center and the edge of the crust, and then down through the middle like this. You just want to push all of the air out into the outside. Now, at this point, I just pick it up, and this dough is so forgiving, it's essentially going to stretch itself. And I'm going to make a mess of it. There we go. It's too warm. You kind of play a game between the dough being too warm and pulling like this, or being too cold and not shaping. Okay, looked like it was almost going to be a disaster, but I got the pizza on the peel. Next on is our homemade gianduja, and this is kind of a take on Nutella. So if you wanted to use Nutella, go right ahead, and you just spread that on as well as you can. It might go on in globs, and where I've seen this served, it's always been in globs. Now, getting it on here evenly isn't all that much of a concern. The next thing that we're going to put on is mascarpone, and this sweet cheese is just absolutely wonderful. I shouldn't say it's sweet, it's just not our regular sort of tangy cheese. It's got this great texture and flavor. It's absolutely fantastic on a dessert pizza. All right, so I got a few blobs on there. And again, it doesn't have to be spread evenly because as soon as it goes in the oven, it's going to melt and spread out completely. And into the oven we go. I switch to a metal peel just so that I can turn it around and get it to bake evenly.
All right, Glenn, so
another dessert
experiment.
Pizza. So this is our homemade gianduja and mascarpone cheese. Occurred to me while it was in the pizza oven that I could have put mini marshmallows on it near the end.
Ooh.
Would not have been great. Don't put them on too early because
Those will burn quickly.
Yeah. So let's give it a go. And you don't have to be too crazy with the way that you spread this on, because as soon as it goes in the oven, the heat, yeah, it just totally melts out.
Very hazelnutty and chocolatey.
Hazelnutty chocolate, and then you get a little bit of the cheese in the next bite.
I'm really surprised at the texture of the I forgot what it's called.
The gianduja,
Thank you.
homemade Nutella.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of a
It's gotten crispy, which
and
I'm
a little
totally
bit crunchy.
surprised
Yeah,
at.
it's caramelized. It's heavily caramelized, which is really nice. So next time you're making pizzas and you've already had the savory pizzas and your oven is still hot, the wood burning oven stays hot for a long time.
Or just your stove.
Or your stove. Hold back one ball of dough and try a dessert pizza.
Just the sweet things you like. I've got a dozen ideas.
We do. We've got lots of ideas. So come on back next week for another pizza. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.